Whoops.
Oh,
Whoopsie daisy.
D flat.
Whoopsie daisy.
Where did that come
D flat
from, Mr.
or
Pete?
C sharp.
Or C sharp,
You take the
absolutely.
pick.
If your D is flat, then always go for the sharp C. So, welcome back to Andertons TV. Pete and I today are we're having a duvet day, or a quilter day, as perhaps sometimes we might call it over here. I've totally made that up on the fly, and it makes no sense.
It's a quilt, isn't it? It's one of those ones you do, and then every woman in your family has to sew another little patch into the thing.
And they get handed down generation after generation, never washed properly. Covered in stains from a bygone generation. Anyway, so Quilter, please like and subscribe.
Yes, do that too.
Channel for some bizarre reason.
Washing tips.
Quilter, American company, been around for a long time. Sort of known for perhaps doing sort of small guitar amp and bass amp solutions, pedals, cabinets, that sort of thing. And only recently have Andertons sort of stuck our toe into the Quilter swimming pool as such.
Oh, the ponds, man.
Thought we'd just sort of check out these first two products, the Superblock. These are guitar amps, right? They don't look like guitar amps, look like tiny weeny pedals, but they're guitar amps. That opening jam that you just heard, this cable on the side here is attached to a speaker cabinet behind us. We're both using regular 212 guitar cabs.
It's amazing.
And
it's loud, man.
We're getting plenty of volume, right? We're getting on paper, I think 25 watts, but it's like it must be a good 25 watts because it's not like it's loud.
It feels good. That's the problem with these. Not the problem with these, but these little things. I mean, look at this little thing here. 24 watt wall mode in it. It just sometimes it don't feel. There's no feel.
Well, you know what it is.
It's good feeling this.
You know when you buy like a really crappy £99 hi-fi, or back in the old days where you did, and it would say it's a 600 watt hi-fi, and you'd literally get it to like slightly above bedroom noise, and it would distort all over the place.
Yeah.
This is like the opposite end of the scale. This is like a good 25 watts where you actually feel you probably could go and have a bit of a jam with one of these.
Yeah.
So, as Pete said, runs off of a 24 volt main supply that you get with it. Run a speaker out here. There's two versions, Superblock UK in this classic British racing green, I'm guessing.
British racing green with gold writing on it. It looks good, man.
3 voicings, 1 Marshally and 2 Voxy, which we'll go through at the moment. And then the Superblock US, which is just a load of Fender voicings, I think, sort of a 57, 61 and 65. I'm guessing they're going from that sort of tweed through brown face, black face kind of era, Fender-y sounds. Same set of controls on each one, so master, reverb, treble, middle, bass, limiter, which, I mean, compressor, right? More than limiter, perhaps it's the same thing. And gain. The switches allow you to run it in a standby mode where only the headphone out and the cabinet emulated out work. Or on is the
I love the
headphone
is H-phone.
H-phone. Cab simulation, so you've got 2 emulated sounds and then a flat response, non-emulated mode, and then your voicings. So got effects loops, headphone sockets, as we said.
And that's clever.
Yeah.
You can power this from a normal 9 volt to 12 volt power supply. So if you want it on your pedal board, you can run it directly from one of these things with reduced wattage.
Everything works. You don't get 25 watts.
We're going to try that and see what happens. Well, why not? I'm going to plug it in, see what happens.
Pete's running his full fat pedal board into the front of it. And I thought I'd just sort of, simplify things by just running an affordable overdrive pedal, the Tone City Nobleman, into the front end, and a Boss DD3 delay through the effects
With the tap tempo, that's got tap tempo now. If you hold it down, you can tap the tempo in.
I'm really impressed with the built-in reverb.
That's a good reverb.
Nice. They're
nice
£299, including VAT. So it's kind of, as this type of product becomes more and more popular with other brands, I would say it's somewhere in the middle. It's not the cheapest thing. You've got cheap products from Orange, and I think Hughes and Kettner do something super cheap, and then you've got dearer products from Blackstar and Victory and Blug and things like that.
Yeah, the Strymon pedal is, if you want to buy a pedal, it's $299 easy. You can spend that on a pedal. So, if you want something at the end of your pedal board,
I guess if you're thinking, so where would I use this? I think it's got two main uses. Somebody will have it permanently on their pedal board to give them either a home use or a small jamming kind of solution for headphones or recording or plugging into a cab. And other people will just slip one into the emergency pocket of their guitar gig bag and just go, I just know it's there. It's my safety blanket.
Pocket, as
it's my safety quilt.
Yeah.
It's my comfort quilt. So you just know that if you get to a gig and your main amp or the hired amp that you've got in blows up, you just go, don't worry, I've got my Quilter Superblock. And you're rescued. You save the day.
I'm quality of having.
Do you want to do your sounds first?
I don't mind. I can do whatever you want, man.
Run through your voicings, and we'll do the same on this one.
Wow. So here we are with the cab 2x12 mic'd up. 112 is mic'd up with some nice microphones. Cost much more than this does. Right. So here we are in the 1979 JMP Marshall. Just what it should
Voice.
be. Is that loud, is it?
We got 102.
And excuse, I had the volume, the tone control dialed down a bit. And that's no overdrive pedals at all. That sounds good, man. Okay, you got treble. That's treble. Mid does middle. Bass does bass.
Wait. Bass does bass.
Bass does bass. Yeah.
Wow.
It's amazing.
What about more gain? How much gain
is in it?
Oh.
I think that sounds great, man.
Metal on a Telecaster and a Marshall JMP.
Oops.
Excuse me.
Well, that's you say that, but this is that's just the best pickup in the world.
Is that the DP Invader?
It's the DP invading. The invading DP. Let's go to AC normal, so no top boost here. Yeah,
Marshall.
Not much there.
Marginal difference between the top boost and the normal. I don't mind it.
I think it sounds great, man.
Yeah.
It's one of the better pedals I've heard, definitely. It's definitely slightly more toppy.
You know why?
No.
I'll tell you why.
Why?
It's because Quilter's old school. They've just gone analog.
Yeah.
I mean, apart from the little power amp, which is bound to be some sort of little Class D power amp. Yeah, I agree. But I kind of think it's like it's analog, baby.
Analog, baby.
It's where all the good guitar tones are.
That's when you feel it, isn't it?
Offending
everyone
that likes digital.
There you go. Here's the reverb all the way up.
going to clarify, or perhaps sort of, dig myself out of the hole I just dug myself. I think the digital versus analog, definitely I get it. Analog is very restrictive about what you can do. It's like you've only got so many voices and so many positions for switches to be in and stuff, whereas digital has like infinite selections.
Yeah.
But I just kind of feel like it's quite difficult, I think, with a decent analog circuit to get a bad sound.
The feel
is nice. So it might not be as infinitely flexible as digital. I sort of get that. But your core basic tone and feel is usually pretty good. There's no valves in any of these, obviously. No. Unless they're tiny
little weeny valves. I think there's something to say by how old this is going into something that's analog instead of sending all this old stuff wooden, through something digital. It's just my opinion. I mean,
let's just
dump
a drive pedal over the top of it, and we'll see it. Yeah.
I've got a Halcyon here. So without. Let's see what it does just with a reverb in the front, just to...
Oof. I'm going to take this off.
Yeah, take that down. I'll tell you what happens there.
You need to drop the mix control of the reverb down.
Yeah, but I tell you what's there. This is one of the good things I think about analog is that it'll take the reverb and the delays into it better than digital stuff, because digital has to have a high bit rate, like we talked about in a recent video. So when you push stuff into it, if the digital, what is spectrum or whatever, is this big, the signal just goes like this.
Yeah.
Does it make sense? If it's analog, there's much more signal for it to. That's what I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, Pete, that's not right.
Somebody with a degree in digital.
That's how I feel like it sounds to me and it feels to me like there's a bigger headroom to put stuff into it. Anyway,
should we do this one through the cab or this one through the?
Let's just have a quick listen through. So now I'm going to go through the cab, back with the reverb, and then go back to the JMP.
Just to explain the cabinet simulation on here. So FR would be no cabinet simulation. So that is presumably if you already own a separate cab emulation device, right?
Yeah.
You'd never want your guitar to not have speaker emulation on it. Normal is apparently just a 1x12 cabinet, and the Brit mode adds some brightness to that, because apparently if you're American, you think that British speakers are brighter than American ones. Maybe they are. I don't know. But that's the plan. So here's normal.
That's no drive on at all or anything. So
that sounds great. This is classic old Marshall.
And this limiter thing here is like a compressor, or so if it's all the way up. You can hear how it's sort of doing that to the signal. It squeezes the signal. I like that because,
you normally have limiter as a sort of bit of jargon on bass amps, wouldn't you, rather than guitar amps?
Well,
but it's a similar vibe to
we use a
compressor.
limiter on when we bounce everything out audio-wise, just to keep it within the confounds of succession and success. I don't know what that means, but there we go. So here's the Brit cabinet. Oh yeah, that's very bright, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't like it.
So why shouldn't they call it the American cab then?
I think the JMP is quite brightly voiced. The guitar's bright.
Yeah.
It doesn't suit the Brit. I think with perhaps a humbucker or something like that.
Yeah.
And a darker setting.
Sounds great, man.
Again,
I think that sounds really good.
I think it sounds really good. They're so tiny. Where's it going to end, Pete? Is it going to be like a little matchbox thing that you just, I don't know, you wear on your strap and it's going to be like a 500 watt power amplifier in it or something like that?
Well.
3 holes in a row.
That's a dad joke. Dad jokes.
It really sounds great.
I play this in the end and then...
Okay, so I'm using a Sire S7, which is kind of an affordable S-type guitar, and as I said, it's a couple of affordable pedals with this. So I'm back in the cab.
That sounds great, man.
What wouldn't you like about that? These are the different voicings. So again, 57 you traditionally associate with a slightly darker, gainier. And as you go through the years, it gets a little brighter and a little less gainy.
So is that like a Swede, a brown face, so. and a black face?
I like the 57, to be honest with you. Again, there's less gain in the Superblock US than there is in the UK one.
Great, man.
If I use a humbucker.
Let me just stop you there. I'm just gonna, while you're at that sound, I'm just gonna turn that off. Take that out.
Oh, I see. And
I just want to try to
how
see
much
what
quieter
happens.
does it get with 9 volt?
So that goes into here.
Yeah, it's interesting,
and then
isn't it?
We power it up there, and then try that.
Oh,
hang on, keep going. Okay, let's go back.
That's so interesting. So that's a really viable home use kind of sound, isn't it? And then with the 24 volt one.
So let's try to go 12 volts on this one.
The idea with this, just
12.
For clarity, you get the 24 volt power supply for free when you buy it with it. And then the 9 volt or the 12 volt optional one, the assumption here is you've got some sort of pedal power supply, you know.
That's 12 volts. Let me take it down to 9. Try that.
It's marginal, but a tiny bit.
Yeah. And then...
Oh, wow, that's quite a cool feature. I've never seen that done before.
Super cool feature.
Yeah.
And then...
I bet he found that out by accident.
No.
I bet when he was making it, he was just using different power supplies. He was like, oh, that's cool, but anyway. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
so that's
loud when we go
24.
back to it, isn't it? Okay,
love it, man. That's cool.
It's got all the same controls that Pete had. I'll show you. Again, it takes pedals pretty good. So
yeah,
here's
pedals.
So that's into the front end. Delay is through an effects loop here.
That sounds great.
I would use that.
Yeah.
I would use that every day.
Let's see what it sounds like through your...
I would 100%. I mean, again, you know, I'm obviously in the fortunate position where, you know, I can have bigger amps and that kind of stuff.
Yes.
But again, I kind of love the idea of in the pocket of the, you know, like emergency, valve has gone, you know, everyone sooner or later is going to do a gig where a valve goes in their amplifier.
No, Lee, but that's why I'm using an effect board with everything in it.
This is true, but I'd still want to be able to have my normal pedal board into here, powering a normal cab.
I prefer that.
But so this is DI right now. That sounds good.
It sounds good.
And Let me just come off the humbug.
So just give me a splash for the reverb. Is that more springy than mine? Hang on.
No, I'd be surprised if it's a different chip.
Hang on, where am I going here? I'm on tuner. Yeah, that's springier.
Maybe.
That sounds more
That's
like a spring to me.
Interesting.
Which is cool. And less reverb.
I think it's just different guitars.
Maybe it's just different guitar. Yeah, maybe
I'd
it's
be
just me.
surprised.
Anyway, and you got a Brit cab as well, so a bright cab. Not a Brit cab, it's a bright cab.
Oh, is that what it says?
It
doesn't say Brit, it
bright.
says bright. Ignore me. All my xenophobic comments about Americans assuming that Britons love. It doesn't say that at all.
No,
it says bright, not Brit. There you go.
But it is a bit confusing, I must admit. I thought it's, yeah, there we go. I'm really impressed, man. I'm impressed. I think these are great.
I don't disagree. In other words, I agree.
Always
just go for the single affirmative rather than the double negative.
I don't disagree with you. And then if you have the tone in your voice, I don't disagree. What?
I like
it.
You're
not. Yes. Dad rock.
Yeah, Dad Rock approved.
Yeah.
That's what we need, t-shirts, Dad Rock approved.
Dad, blues Dad approved.
Boomer tick. There we are. So that's the Quilter Superblock range. These aren't brand new. I think they came out maybe in 2021. So they're sort of, they're kind of new. When you get to my age, anything that's less than sort of 20 years old is basically new. So semi-new, just new to Andertons. I really like it. They're tiny. Tiny weeny.
Yeah, that's great, man. I like that.
All right, there we are. Please like and subscribe. Every day we will bring you new and informative information. Informative information, is that a thing?
There you go again. It's like saying
around guitar gear.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Let me allow myself to introduce myself. It's the same thing, isn't it? Completely ridiculous.
See you tomorrow, hopefully. Goodbye.